Hello and welcome to this video teaching you how to set up Logi SecureKey authentication. Hopefully you saw our last video explaining how SecureKey works and why it's so effective. Let's get started. We've created a sample Logi application. First, let's add a security element to the application setting definition. Next, let's walk through the relevant attributes for SecureKey implementation. First is Authentication Source. Select SecureKey from the drop-down list of available values. Next is Authentication Client Addresses. This attribute specifies the IP addresses of the web or application server making the SecureKey request, not the end user's IP address. This value can be determined by pinging the application server from the web server hosting your Logi applications. Next is Cache roles and rights. When Authentication Source is set to SecureKey and this value is left blank, the setting defaults to Session. SecureKey will not work if it's set to false. Set Restart Session to True. All security-related session variables are cleared with each new login attempt. SecureKey Database Connection ID specifies a database connection element ID, enabling the temporary storage of SecureKey tokens in a relational database rather than the file system. The temporary values are stored in a database table named RD SecureKey, which is automatically created the first time a SecureKey is used. The SecureKey shared folder attribute allows SecureKey to be used with clustered server configurations in web farms and web gardens by saving information in commonly accessible files. The account used by or impersonated by the Logi application must have network access rights to read, write, and delete files in this folder. Files in the SecureKey shared folder are automatically deleted over time, so do not use this folder to also store other files. Lastly, set Security Enabled to True. Now let's save our changes. Your Logi application may need to use any security roles and/or rights available as part of the SecureKey information. If user roles information is included in the SecureKey request from the parent application, then subsequent report requests will cause that information to be automatically available in the security element of the settings file. If user roles information is not included in the SecureKey request but is desired, it can still be retrieved from a data source using a user roles element and a data layer. Let's add a user roles element under security and add the data layer below it. The data returned to the data layer should have either a role value in the first column of each row or be a single row with one column containing multiple roles in a comma-delimited list. Let's select the connection ID from the list of available connections for the data layer and then add a sample query to return a list of user roles. If user rights information is included in the SecureKey request from the parent application, then subsequent report requests will cause that information to also be automatically available in the security element. If user rights information is not included in the SecureKey request but is desired, it can be retrieved in several ways. The first option is adding the user rights element, then adding the rights from roles element below it. This builds a list of rights directly from the roles values. For the other two options, see the notes of this video. Let's open the sample parent application that we built in Java. The parent application is responsible for authenticating the user when he or she first connects. The authentication process should produce a valid user ID and optional list of roles and/or rights. We are getting roles and rights from the parent application, so we do not need the configuration of user roles and rights in the Logi application. We will delete them now. When the user first requests a report or web page from the Logi application, the parent application issues a SecureKey request to the Logi application's authentication service using this basic format. You can see the notes of this video for a URL that includes a list of roles and/or rights. The Logi application's authentication service returns a SecureKey to the parent application, which then redirects the user's request to the Logi application, passing the SecureKey as additional query string. The URL for this redirect will look something like this, using two keywords, RD report and RD SecureKey. In the parent application, you'll need to request SecureKey and redirect the user's report using the SecureKey. This is the Java code that provides a sample of how you can do this. First, we need to set up the SecureKey call. To start, define parts of the SecureKey request URL. Next, let's combine those parts to build a complete URL to the Logi application. Then let's make a backend handshake, passing username, roles, and rights to the Logi application. Now we will attempt to make a SecureKey call and get the response. Now let's set the URL with the retrieve SecureKey parameter and then redirect the application with SecureKey parameter. We'll need to include the Logi report inside the div container using the following format. Now we're going to test the application. First, we will run the Java application and then open it in a browser. As you can see, it's working. If there are any errors, it can be very helpful to view the information being sent between the parent application and the Logi application during the SecureKey request. To do this, you can temporarily provide a value for the security element's SecureKey shared folder. This will cause secure keys to appear there as XML files, so you can see when they're created. You can open and examine them in order to determine what's being passed in the SecureKey request. If a company has set up a firewall with NAT addresses or another form of network proxy that sends all traffic to the Logi application through a single IP address or a range of IP addresses, then client IP address checking in SecureKey needs to be suppressed because individual user locations will not be unique. You can do this by modifying the parent application's request to the Logi application so that it passes a client browser address. Like this, for example. Logi's SecureKey allows you to securely authenticate from the parent application and establish a session in the Logi application. Once a user is finished working with the Logi application, you want to ensure that the session is terminated. The first option is the application server timeout configuration. Automatic session timeout after a period of inactivity is managed in the web server, and for example, the IIS default setting is 20 minutes. You may want to adjust this to a shorter interval in order to increase session security, which is done in a variety of ways. For IIS, this is set in IIS Manager tool. While this by itself is not completely secure, it's a good practice that helps minimize security exposure. The next option is the restart session attribute. The security element's restart session attribute causes previous session information to be cleared with each new SecureKey authentication attempt. Turning this feature on is the recommended method of ensuring that users do not piggyback onto a previous user's session. You can also add session exit elements, which is explained in the notes of this video. Thank you for joining us in this video walking you through how to implement Logi SecureKey authentication. Have a great day.